Hello, my fellow Nigerians. Poverty will cause Northerners to stone their leaders if care is not taken. Poverty will cause the Northerners to stone their leaders if they do not act fast to eradicate poverty in the North. Former Secretary General of Arewa Consultative Forum, Mr. Antony Sani, has raised the alarm that the rising poverty level in northern Nigeria are a powder keg waiting to explode soon. To this end, Sani called on leaders of the northern region to act fast and tame the snowballing abject poverty, noting that it is consequences will consume them. In this interview with Noah Ebije in Kaduna, the former ACF scribe also spoke about crisis between the Dangote Refinery and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, saying that Dangote Refinery is a victim of international and local interest. He also spoke on Onoshaye report, saying it has outlived its capacity to address the current bloated public service of the country. What can you say about the recent protest and the violence in the North? If the intention of the protest was to draw attention of the government to the fact that its policy have brought about the pain that comes with the hardship, I think the point has been made, and Mr. President has admitted that much and promised to address the challenges in the economy. As to the violence in the North, I would let you know these reports about what President George Bush and former President Bill Clinton once said about poverty in the wide world. President Bush posited that third world leaders tend to weaponize poverty because they believe poverty is directed at the heart of freedom. Former Bill Clinton was bitter when he said the same poverty is powder keg waiting to be ignited by indifference of the leaders. The violence in the North has made what Clinton said to be a truism and a signal to northern leaders about what can happen if nothing is done about current challenges. Poverty in the North is real, and this is because education, which is the instrument of improvement that narrows inequality, is stymied by the number of out of school children. This strokes ignorance and the poverty with the way the protesters have obeyed the curfew in the states. There is hope that the situation can be reversed by conscientiously directing efforts by the governors. That is to say, the situation is not beyond redemption. I have no idea about the origin of the Russian flags. Some people say the flags were supposed to be military flags and the tailor made mistakes, while others say the flags are from Russia. Whichever way you look at it, whether invitation to the military for incursion or for Russian influence, it is not helpful. This is because, like Awolowo once said, the worst civilian government is better than the best military regime. Most of those calling for military intervention are those who have not experienced military rule As to the invitation for Russia to have influence in Nigeria, it is important to point out that the problems of Nigeria is economic, and Russia's economic is not that strong for it is to help Nigeria. This is because Russia is only strong militarily and not economically. The protesters were on the street against hunger and hardship occasioned by the removal of a subsidy on fuel and the naira. That is to say, the hyperinflation is due to government policies. President Bola Tinubu used the broadcast to let Nigerians know that removal of the subsidies was not a matter of choice, considering the volume of production and the price of crude oil, which are half of what obtained in 2012, when he and some of us opposed the removal because we thought the nation could afford it. And now that subsidies are not sustainable, the decisions has to change. He also listed the efforts the government has been making in order to revamp the economy. There was nothing wrong with that, except that he left out what the government is doing to reduce cost of governance. Government officials should lead the charge for the required sacrifices, and dare the rest of Nigerians to follow. All this crisis about pump prices is because we are still importing our fuel amid the removal of subsidies on both fuel and the naira, which is in a state of flux. If we stop importing our fuel, the inflation and prices of fuel would reduce, and the only way to stop importing our fuel is for the government and all stakeholders to go as far as their variegated efforts can go and help Dangote refinery to start functioning fully and provide our needs locally. Dangote refinery is among those companies that are too big to fail. No two ways about it. It is a pity that I have not been following the development since President Buhari commissioned the exploitation of oil in Gombe and Nasarawa states, but I do not want to think such efforts has been abandoned. As an investigative journalist and a northerner, you are in a good position to find out and let Nigerians know the progress in that regard. All the topsy-turvy about changes in pump prices of fuel are because Nigerians import the refined products, which are subject to market forces. But if Dangote refinery were to function properly, it is expected that importation of fuel will stop and help the nation save forests. But international and local interests are causing delay for Dangote refinery to start and function properly. Internationally, climate change is making the developed economies not to be at ease with Dangote refinery that will promote the use of fossil fuel. What is more proper functioning of a Dangote refinery will reduce the market share of refined fuel for existing refineries across the globe. We do not expect them to fold their arms and watch Dangote refinery cut a big swath of their market. Locally, some vested interests are changing Dangote refinery for monopoly of the petroleum industries. Hence, the frustration of Dangote refinery But I think if the other refineries in the country are made to function properly, there will be no monopoly. In any case, there exists antitrust law that can check any practice which puts small firms out of business. It is true that the North, which produces most food for the country, should not be the one crying loud about high prices of food, considering that most Northerners are farmers. But the vice president forgot to mention the sandbags which insecurity puts on the part of farming in the North. There are also challenges posed by lack of farming inputs for farmers. I believe if governments would secure the farms and help farmers with farm inputs, that will bring about increased farming and thus food security. I have said it over and over again that the government should ensure there are enough number of trained and equipped security personnel who are well motivated to secure the nation. That is the aspect of punitive measure. The preventive measure is for government to help address underlying causes of insecurity by improving the volume and quality of education in order to do away with ignorance and poverty, which help provide canon holders for promotion and promotion of insecurity. The current level of out-of-school children does not guarantee security. My people, what do you think about this? Give your opinion in the comment section and subscribe to this channel. Thank you and God bless. Amen.